According to statistics, Uganda generates 600 tons of plastics daily. Of this, 40% is collected for recycling, while 60% is left in the environment. Whereas communities are blamed for poor waste management, to environmentalists, the biggest problem lies in the fact that some manufacturers of these plastics lack goodwill. Article 5, Section 76 of the National Environment Act of 2019 speaks to the management of plastics, with Section 80 highlighting the polluter's liability. Even with these legislations, environmentalists are perturbed with the choking levels of plastic production, use, and later poor disposal.
Place right now bans only up to 30 microns, but it has been said many times that your naked eye cannot tell 30 microns from 31, 32 to 35. You can only feel a little bit when you get to 100 microns, but that whole range was left there, not labeled, they are not clearly labeled, and 35 is not labeled, so it's problematic to manage plastics of above 30. So the 30 microns, yes, it's banned, but it is of no consequence when it comes to managing plastics.
The bulk of plastics, particularly the plastic carrier bags, are not labeled as required by the law. By Section 76, subsection 3 of the National Environment Act 2019. These are not labeled, because if you go to any place, you buy anything small, they'll give you that thing in a plastic bag. Sometimes this transparent one, sometimes the black one, the blue one, and so forth. But if you observe carefully, you'll not see any labels on this. Okay? So meaning, much as this is one of the biggest polluters, it's very difficult to trace the manufacturers unless you know them.
Because of this, a section of environmentalists is now calling for the amendment of these laws to tighten the biting bit a little bit.
The ban on Kavera, the law is there, but why hasn't it been able to be implemented? Those are some of the questions we should be answering. Because when you look at Kenya, they banned and it worked. When you look at Tanzania, they banned it and it worked. Rwanda, the same story. But for us here, things have failed. We are moving in circles. I think it is time for us to move straight now.
That aside, some of them still insist that abandonment of plastic use remains the unrivaled choice. Their argument is based on the fact that matter can never be created nor destroyed, but it just changes form, which squarely relates to plastics.
I really believe that many of the factories that are manufacturing plastics now, for example, plastic carrier bags, have the potential of transforming their factories into factories that can manufacture environmentally friendly, for example, products like we see, for example, in that room. But that will require commitment, as far as I'm concerned. Commitment, and maybe also some funding must be made available by government for that purpose.
This is happening at a time when Uganda, through the National Environmental Management Authority NEMA, is developing a position paper to feed into the Global Plastic Treaty. Dorcas Kimono, UBC TV News.